अंतकाले च मामेव स्मरन्मुक्त्वा कलेवरं यप्रयाति समद्भावं याति नास्त्यत्र संशयः. A very profound declaration by Sri Krishna in the Gita. Krishna declares, the one who contemplates on him at the time of death, antakale cha mameva smaranmuktva kalevaram yaprayati samadbhavam yati nastyatra samshayaha. Without any doubt, he assures that one who contemplates on him with bhakti shall attain him. Therefore, Antima Smriti, contemplation on Bhagavan at the time of death, becomes very important. Krishna also says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha. Whatever one contemplates, whatever be the object of contemplation, whatever one thinks about, the kind of experience one wishes at the time of death, one shall certainly attain that state, that condition. For sure, Krishna says. Antima Smriti. The contemplation, the dominant thought process at the time of death determines the nature of rebirth. Therefore, if one were to attain Krishna, Antima Smriti of Krishna becomes critical, becomes significant. And he assures that if one contemplates on him at the time of death, at the time of departure of the Atman from the body, one shall definitely reach him. Now, how can one ensure that the contemplation at the time of death is on Krishna? How can one ensure that the dominant thoughts that run in one's mind at the time of death will all be centered around Krishna? Krishna himself gives the answer. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha mayyarpita manobuddhihi mame vaishyasi asamshayaha, he says. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. Therefore, if one were to ensure that Krishna happens to be the core of one's contemplation at the time of death, one has to necessarily practice contemplation on him throughout one's life. It is the dominant thought that runs in one's mind throughout the life which will be dominant even at the time of death. Therefore, one needs to practice constant contemplation on Krishna throughout one's life. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, all the time, one needs to lovingly contemplate, meditate. When do I contemplate on Krishna? Before or after an activity that I do? It seems there was this hefty man who approached a dietitian. And the dietitian prescribed pills to him. And this hefty man inquired, "Doctor, when should I take these pills? Before or after the meals?" And the dietitian responded, "Instead." Similarly, if one were to ask this question, when should I contemplate on Krishna? Before or after an activity? The answer is during. Upasana, meditation, contemplation on Krishna has to continue throughout, even when one performs any kind of work. That is when work becomes worship. Karma becomes kainkarya. When one is Krishna centered, when Bhagavan becomes the center of our world, the center of all our activities, then constant contemplation becomes possible. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmara yudhyacha. While doing any duty, one needs to keep Krishna in mind all the time. Mayarpita manobuddhihi. One has to necessarily surrender to Krishna, surrender one's mind and intellect to him. Then Krishna assures that one shall necessarily attain him. So it becomes very clear that Antima Smriti is significant, is important. One needs to necessarily contemplate on Krishna at the time of death to attain him. And how can we ensure contemplation of Krishna at the time of death? Only when one leads a life which is Krishna-centered. Constant contemplation on him throughout one's life. Then contemplation on him at the time of death becomes automatic. Now one can have a question as to what happens if one led a life of a great bhakta, always contemplating on Krishna, but then due to a disability, a disease, a sickness, a memory loss, one is unable to contemplate on Krishna at the time of death. What happens to such a bhakta? What happens to such a noble person? Krishna also gives an answer in the Gita. Krishna says, Daivi hyesha gunamayi mamamaya duratyaya mamevaye prapadyante maya metam tarantite. If one leads a life of a Sharanagata, completely surrendering to Krishna and leading a life which is centered around him, lovingly serving him with bhakti, then Krishna assures that he shall ensure that such a Sharanagata can cross over the ocean of samsara effortlessly. He shall ensure, he takes over the responsibility. And he assures this. Also, during his Varaha-avatara, Bhagavan makes a solemn declaration. Sthite manasi sushpaste sharire satiyo naraha dhatu samye sthite smarta vishwarupam chamamajam tatastam riyamanam tu kashta pashana sannibham aham smarami madbhaktam nayami paramam gatim. What a great assurance Bhagavan gives us. This shloka is celebrated as Varaha Charama Shloka, where Bhagavan declares that when my bhakta, when he is fully fit, when his body, mind and intellect are fit and functioning properly, when such a bhakta surrenders to me, knowing me as the Sarvaseshi, as Sarvadhara, Sarvaniyanta, completely surrenders to me and leads a life rooted in bhakti, he says, at the time of death, if it so happens that such a bhakta is in a state, is an unconscious state, like a piece of wood or like a stone, completely disabled, unable to function, then he says, it is not required that he remembers me. I assure him that I shall remember him. Bhagavan assures that Antima Smriti happens. Instead of the Bhakta remembering, when he is unable to remember Bhagavan, Bhagavan ensures that he shall remember him. And he shall ensure that such a Bhakta crosses over the ocean of samsara and reaches his abode of Paramapada Vaikuntha. Such is Bhagavan's compassion. Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu.